Order canceled.
All right, good morning. Nice little pump off the open. Good on grab that long. That long was before the open. Well, at least this one right here was. I guess the open's right here. But I don't know, man. That opening candle for New York, first minute. It's not my typical cup of tea. But you're not wrong. Could have grabbed it. That's whack. Didn't know the Z's expired at 9:30. Oh, like the December contract. Yeah, I never know exactly like when they expire. I just know it's in December, and people usually roll over kind of in the middle of the month. I rolled over on Monday. I was in the longs off this move. Let's go. Oh, but it stopped working because of the contracts. That would make sense. Another one of those optimization things you gotta keep up with. Make sure it's rolled over and everything. My longs roll, my shorts done. For some reason that sentence doesn't make sense to me. But that is really unfortunate about the contracts. Because I'm guessing he missed the majority of this long that you would have got. My long parts of my algo uses current contract, but I cut that and let it trade C. Ah, gotcha. So it's still on my... Oh, wait. So it's still in Z. My shorts were on H. I thought that Z would expire at 5 p.m. That would make more sense, no? That'd make a lot more sense if they expired at the end of the day. Whether it was like yesterday at 5 p.m. or today at 5 p.m. But like right at the market open? Kind of wild. A little strange, if you ask me. Dang, the buyers still pushing. About to set the 15-minute opening range as well. So we might get a little retest off the 15-minute opening range high. If we can kind of break out of it.
Order submitted. Order filled. Stop filled.
We got real close to TP there. Literally like a tick away. So that's why I went break even. Kind of thought if we got back down, we might do a little bit of this, which we're doing. Yeah, kind of struggling here at the highs. Where's that flag? Kinda. I was looking at that. I was like, well, if we kind of get back here, we might get a little push. But because of the weakness we were showing up there and the fact that we didn't really... So I did try and take a retest off the 15-minute opening range because we came back and tried to kind of retest it. And we kind of missed our tick by, or TP by like a tick before like running down here with this wick. But I caught the break, just took the break even play like normal, which saved me a loss, I believe. And then we're still holding above it, but definitely just like a little bit of weakness. So wasn't really looking to take that flag personally. But I guess if we got entered at the top of this green wick, 57, 65. So yeah, not even 10 points on that wick. But maybe that would have been TP somewhere in there if I brought it down a little bit lower, like you were saying, to kind of 75% of the leg or whatever. Which I think would be a little bit more consistent. But obviously that's like less than 10 points. But that's not a problem necessarily. It just isn't exactly the best risk to reward unless I decrease my risk as well. But yeah, we're a little just kind of choppy and wicky right here. So, don't know exactly what would have happened. Definitely not the cleanest, for sure. Do have news in 7 minutes. Don't know if it'll be super crazy news or anything, but does appear to be red on financial juice, so Existing home sales. All right, news in about 2.5 minutes. Might just be kind of waiting for that. Currently, price just kind of chilling at the highs for now. This is the last day for eval. Yeah, one of them. The problem is I still need more than 1,000, which I can't exactly make more than that in a single day. I tried a little bit earlier this week and like off stream to make a little bit more, but it's kind of like awkward. I kind of have to accept defeat. So that's why I haven't been trying too hard on it this morning, just because it might be too late. Yeah, the consistency rule, like the 40%. It's like 40%. Yeah, so the profit target is 2,500, which is better than most evals, but yeah, 40% consistency rule, so 40% of 2,500 is 1,000. Yeah, a little unfortunate, but the main account I've been trading, we still got a little while before, well, like 2 weeks, or I guess week and a half. That one expires on the 31st, and that one we're up like 900 on. But we should get some good wins here soon. I probably will scale up a little bit more with my initial Monday and Tuesday if I try and trade those days next week. News did not do a lot there. It was a little more volatile there for a sec, but it's seems like it's kind of over now. Kind of just waiting for a pullback now. Yeah, no, I was trying to like play it smart, but still like make it a lot, if that makes sense. But I definitely should have just went like you said, like balls to the wall, tried to just size up as much as possible and make that $1,000. I just had like some break even trades, and I guess that maybe that was the problem. I was like, should have just taken like the loss on some of those or hope for the win. But yeah, just couldn't quite make like enough. And then like because I didn't make enough, even, yeah, I did size up, but not enough. Oh, just like run it up on one account and just like ignore the consistency. Because I definitely could have done that, but then I'd have to like make more overall on the account. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're saying, but make more. You made 700 more than. For some reason, I'm blinking on like the math or the 700 that they're talking about. But moral of the story, should have done something different maybe, or I just got a little bit unlucky. Oh, if I just do on one account, that's what you mean by just run it on one account. Right. Instead of like spreading it across, like I got you. Yeah. Because right, instead of having 3 accounts, if I just had one. Because obviously the idea of that is to like spread the risk, right? So that way, like in theory, like you take less losses per account and you kind of spread that across different accounts. And sometimes you'll be up on accounts, and it just makes it a little easier mentally than being, you know, down 3 trades on one account versus kind of spreading it a little bit. But no, I do see what you're saying. Because yeah, if I was trading on one account, I would have essentially made more money, unless I did like cut myself off after like a win or two. Whereas like trading a third account, I might make more that I wouldn't have made. But I do see what you're saying, like where, right, instead of trading this other account, I should have just kind of locked in on one with all the trades to make as much. Yeah. Right. Well, I still had like the other ones, and I kind of committed this one to the EMA strat, so that's kind of been the focus, and I did have more time with it. So like I don't want to like not trade this account kind of correctly, because I still am a little rushed since I have like 2 days next week and then possibly 2 days the week after and today, which is still very possible, but like it's still a little rushed. But yeah, I did spread myself a little bit thin. Just so I don't have to worry about like the probability things, if that makes sense. Because I want to beat the statistics, and like most strategies in theory, if they're profitable, statistically have like 60-70% win rate or whatever it might be. So like the theory is like if I'm switching between like bull flag and EMA strats on one account, obviously I could happen to hit win-win with both strats, which is great. But if you know me, I typically, once I get a good win in the day, I'm done, because I don't want to give back my money that I make, depending on how much it is. Whereas losses, right, I want to separate the stats. That's a simple way of putting it. Separate the stats, because on a separate account, I can take the flags independently of like my other trades, and it doesn't affect like the statistics. And even if I do lose the flags and the EMA trades or the fair value gap trades or whatever, I'm not taking all those losses on one account. I'm spreading it across different accounts. Because that's where the statistics can get kind of messy. It's like if I'm winning with one strat, but then I like lose my profits because of the other, that kind of sucks if it's on the same account. But if it's on a different account, it doesn't suck as much. It's just part of the statistics for that strategy. And I guess you could just combine all the statistics and say like, okay, overall, trading all three strategies has this win rate or this statistic, but that'd be kind of hard to calculate. You do make a good point. I think it's a little bit of both, because to make money, you do have to, kind of like I said, if I knew the exact statistics of trading all the strats, then I'd know like, okay, if I just trade everything, that's also fine. But some days it definitely can eat you up a little bit. And it just kind of makes it easy to kind of separate it like mentally. It's like, okay, this account take this account take this. But I don't know, maybe not the best way of going about it. And I'm definitely not logging all the stats like I could be, but that's also because I'm not trading on the same account. But I've done that before, and that's where I was kind of guilty of kind of strategy hopping, but also just taking like too many kind of different trades. And basically the problem with that was I ran into just a couple times where like I had like a 150K account and I made like 5K. So I was like a couple thousand, like I think 4,000 away from like the payout with Tradeify. Because you had to make like 9K to get a $3,000 payout. Anyways, I was like up 5K. And then like I took a loss with my main strat, but then I took another trade. Anyways, maybe it's a little bit of inconsistency, but basically I would have gone a payout on those accounts. But because I also tried trading like some other strats at the same time, while I waited for like my main strat setup, I ended up taking more losses than I should have. Not even in one day, but like even spread out between 2 or 3 days. And maybe those strats just weren't that good. Maybe if I combined good strategies, that's why I wouldn't have the same issue. But that's just been a reason in the past for blowing up accounts is obviously like you could simplify and say strategy hopping, but also just like trading more than one strat on one account. Because even technically, if I like, I kind of saw just like within that short little time frame, if I traded the other strategies separately, both would have been profitable over a month, potentially led to a payout if I didn't make mistakes. But because I combined the two, I just took like more losses within like a short time period, which again, like technically if I was trading a live account, I would have never, I'd still be up, right? I wouldn't have lost any money. But because of like the prop firm and the drawdown, trailing drawdown, you know, just took enough losses in a row that I ended up blowing it. Oh yeah, the stats are on Ninja. You have to look at them and double check how they're going. Because I usually kind of just keep, again, because they're separated, I just kind of keep track of like each account, right? How are each account doing? Like the win rates and everything. Like Funny Ticks has a lot of the stats on their dashboards, which is nice. Yeah, I'm sure the main thing is just like right now the EMA strat is, I mean, it's doing pretty good. I think I do need to do a little bit better at just maximizing certain profits, which I've done pretty well at this week. But even this week, I've still like my first trade's somehow been a loss. Not every day, but some of the days. But I've been able to make it back within like one trade, obviously, like yesterday. So this week's been green all week. Last week had the 2 bigger red days, which again, that was because I kind of like was like, oh, this is like my max loss limit. So I traded. Yeah. I ended up like not trading a 4th trade, which ended up being a winning trade on a different account. It was, yeah, this whole thing. But I took like the 3 losses on Thursday and Friday. So that kind of did take a little bit of a hit to my account. But Tuesday and Wednesday were green, but only a little bit. They were kind of just like I think I had some losses and made them back. So I was slightly in the green, but call it like break even. Week before was green. Yeah, and I'd say never taken RSI TP. Yeah, and today kind of same thing, but also I don't feel too bad just because it's like literally the first minute of the New York Open, which that's always been kind of a rule of mine, is like don't trade the first minute, even if there's a setup. Yeah, this week's been a lot better. And if I have more weeks like this week, I mean, I could definitely make some good money. But also this week could still have been like technically better. So kind of cool. Might take the second entry on this trade. Five-minute bottom of the range. Brandon really MIA? Seriously. I mean, yeah, he's either blowing up some accounts or he just hates my streams. Something.
Order filled.
I will try this. Bottom of the range. Seem to be holding up here pretty well. Second-ish entry. I guess like 28 points on this, a little lower. 5-minute ETR, but we might kind of chop around to this area still. We'll see. Vicente, thank you for the follow. Just got to get above the 1-minute EMA here and we should be chilling. Or maybe we're just going to dump. Should be good, but we'll see. Oof.
Stop
There he
filled.
goes. Kelly Rick, thank you for the follow. I think I need to let go of the opening move rule for my EMA strat. Yeah, I might have to. But it's not necessarily, yeah, it's not like the opening move. It's just like the first minute, kind of like a news candle. Just to avoid like the wicks and everything. Because even a good trade can sometimes get stopped out by that wick of the first candle. That being said, you might still be correct because with these kind of trades, that's not necessarily, well, 934. Right, and that I'm fine with. I'm fine with like 934. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, 934, we're already up here today. So there wasn't any like trade to Already missed the move. And since then, I've just been kind of waiting. At least today. But there was one earlier this week that I think I could have caught around, yeah, a couple minutes after the opening candle. But no, I do like the momentum more at the beginning of the day for sure. But yeah, today I would have had to take the trade exactly at 9:30 or like before 9:30 to actually get the move. All right, see how do we get the... Oh, I don't even know why I just said. We'll see how we do at the 15 here. We're almost peaking on the RSI down here on the 1 minute. Hopefully get a better move off the 15.
Order filled. Order filled.
Not the best scale in there. Hopefully we still go ATB though. Should be fine. Oh yeah.
Target filled.
Beautiful. Good job so far. Thank you, thank you. Nice little banger there. And that was a fantastic move off the 15. So, and the anticipation zone too. TP at the other EMA is 35 points off the initial. It says 366, but I believe I made... I was down 184. Now I'm up 340. Yeah, the timing was perfect. The scaling was a little late though. I could have made a little bit more if I scaled in more correctly or sooner. But I mean, we'll still take it. Yeah, we only made like 524 on that trade. So a little bit less than some other trades. Still very solid though. No, we took profit, game over. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I have no problems taking profit compared to like holding it for a long time. When I say I could have made more money, right. No, I'm very happy with TP. I just mean with like my scaling. If you notice, I scaled in with more contracts as we got up. So I started with 4 initial micros and then I added 8 more. So my TP was in the same spot the whole time. But if I scaled in sooner, I could have made more profit on the 8 contracts I scaled in with, if that makes sense. But no, I'm very happy with that TP. So yeah. And when I say like could have made more, it would have been like an extra like $100, right? Maybe 200 if like, again, I got like a good scale in entry. But that's more off entry, not TP. Because yeah, TP, yeah, that was my TP. If the only place I would have gone higher is maybe up where the EMA was, right? Once I saw us kind of hit this EMA, that would have been the profit. Because yeah, I had a feeling we might kind of reject off them a little bit. Because yeah, I'm also a preacher of if we, what am I trying to say? My mind's like blinking. But yeah, I don't typically hold trades for like a super long time. Like I'd rather lock in profits. And also hindsight's 2020. So I've been a big preacher. You'll probably hear me talk about it if you are on the stream consistently, but you'll hear me talk about like, yeah, even if a trade could have made a lot of money, like that's just hindsight, you know, like if you take a long here, you're probably not going to take profit right here. You're probably going to take it like up here somewhere, and that's totally fine. So I definitely agree with you on that, because I do say that a lot myself. Hindsight's 2020. And if you're following your rules and taking your TP where you plan to, then you can have no regrets. But yeah, still a great scalp. Made back my whole loss here plus 300, so very happy. Looks like we're above the 5 now, so might get another move back up. Kind of a 5 minutes bull flag. Not the prettiest, but still kind of a consolidation in the form of a flag, which we could be breaking out here soon. Make the move higher. $560 next. Yeah, I think that's very likely. I'd be kind of surprised if we don't hit 560, possibly even like 580. But definitely 560. Oh, TechFlu missed my banger trade, I think. Or he's just not saying anything about it. There we go. There's the break. Kind of hesitate there for a minute, but there's the break. We should get up to 560 now. Still haven't quite come up to 560. We've had some decent like breaks to the upside. Like this candle here is pretty big. But then we just kind of like lose our momentum and kind of pull back. I guess it's like a higher time frame thing. Shouldn't necessarily expect the 1 minute candles to, you know, make the whole move. But still a little slower than I'd probably expect or imagine. Yeah, it could be a test at 32 or 4. That's right where the 1 minute EMA is. We're at like 33 right now, 34. I could retest the 5 before we make the move up. Kind of get it like a second entry, maybe. Could be a bull flag here. We are at the top of the 15-minute opening range though. So my might get kind of stuck there like it already did. That could be why we're kind of struggling to get the breakout. So literally this top of the range. We might try this here. Kind of wicked into it, but if we get back up there, we'll probably go for a little scalp. Place by at 31.5. Alright. Should be pretty decent, unless we like blow through the wick. But I imagine we still stay pretty bullish. Long term. We're holding up the 1 EMA still. Yeah, see what it does. See how kind of how it closes and whatnot. Because yeah, sometimes it does like to kind of break through wicks, run them a little bit. But that doesn't mean it'll like dump. And the 5 EMA should hold up here. If it does like break through here. There it is. Yeah, looks like it might run through a little bit like I was saying. But hopefully the 5 holds up. Because that also could be maybe an entry. Maybe an entry long. Apparently it was. Jeez. Order filled. Nice. Like TP or just the entry? What's the TP? Probably. I'm guessing like 50. Maybe like 45. Right, it's 560, okay. That'd be a nice TP if we get up there. I got some orders on the book, I'm guessing. I like it. Still kind of struggling to make up its mind. Like I said, that 15-minute opening range, this white line here, seems to be still pushing price down a little. But we are holding above the 5. We're kind of dumping for some reason. Kind of interesting. I don't think that was a bad trade at all, but yeah, definitely wants to pull back a little bit first. Very interesting. Fair value gap, as mentioned, is dialed in here by 8. Okay, okay. Yeah, it definitely looks like we could hold up. Kind of right here, kind of 50% of this leg right here. Move back up. We might try and come back and test the 15-minute EMA though. Kind of like we did before. We also could just be losing some of the momentum to the upside. Dang, so they're still a little strong. Might push through the CMA here. Could see. I imagine we still kind of hold. Yeah, I might take out this wick down here. That's not bad close though.
Order filled. We'll try it. Order filled.
Oh, we got real close there. Did we come all the way back down? Jeez.
Order filled.
I'm just going to close that for a small little win. Rejecting the EMAs down like that, I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I should move my TP a little bit lower. I don't know. Because in theory, the EMA could have supported the move by going above it and going even farther. But the way we just rejected off the 5, not a fan. Still like a good trade though. Dang, just barely missed TP though. That would have been awesome if we hit that. Made like 50 bucks on that trade. Not bad, but what can you do? Yeah, not sure. This actually could be like a second entry. But I am losing a little faith in the longs here. I'm not gonna lie. I can imagine we still get a decent bounce off the 15, but just don't know. Kind of just chilling in this area right now. The zone. Not the prettiest. Kind of expecting us to dump down a little bit, maybe touch the EMA, then maybe go back up if we're going to. All right, here's attempt number 2. Yeah, the second attempt might be the one. First one. Got a little unlucky, but probably should have waited for the second entry anyways on this. Still kind of struggling though off like the 5. Five minutes kind of battling the 15. Second order L at 490. Well, we're at 490. Five ten average, 2 micros. Nice, nice. We just gotta get above the 5. When we get above the 5, we should be headed to like 540 pretty easily. We've just been struggling, kind of rejecting off the 5. So if we do get above the 5, we should be chilling. But yeah, we're kind of just bouncing between the 15 and the 5 right now. $560 for TP. Hey, that'd be a nice TP. Just need to get that break. Break the highs. Maybe, yeah. I mean, right now, like 546 might not be a bad TP, just kind of at these previous highs. But I don't want to change your mind on that because I think 560 is still a pretty solid idea. It's kind of struggling right now. Just need to pick up the momentum. Guesswork, trading is being around the bush. Yeah, yeah. Definitely in a counter trend day or counter trend trade. Yeah, unfortunately, after we kind of took out some of these lows, we're definitely kind of trending down, especially if you look at the 5-minute chart. Right, we're holding below the 5-minute EMA. 5-minute 9 EMA, I should clarify. We're still holding above the 15, like the 15 for now, which could change as I say that. Might swipe the lower. Yeah, I kind of swipe these lows, which might be what it needs to go higher, but also might continue trending down even more. But just swipe lower, we're kind of getting back up into the zone. Like, it's almost kind of tempting, but we are losing a lot of that momentum to the upside. Doing its Friday thing, seriously.
Order filled.
I might try this one more time. See if we can get above the 1. We might consider taking TP at the 5. We'll see though. But we might finally break above the 5 also. You got a short right here. Nice. I mean, it definitely could be more of a short. Unless we can hold the 15 here. But we're kind of just getting buried by the 1 minute EMA.
Order filled.
We might take our first TP at the 5. And then let the second run a little bit more. We need some momentum to push through here. So we're still just kind of struggling, but I feel like we gotta go up. Yeah.
Target filled.
Fill the first. Let's go break even on the other bit. Because yeah, if we can get past the 5 here, we should be chilling. Might even just scale this and lock in a little bit more. It's not typically what I do, but
Stop filled.
I did have a feeling that we're gonna kind of reject out the 5 again there. Which is like fine. Short term. But I'll try and stop and break even. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, I'll just lock in this because we've been bouncing off the 5. Which is why this first trade didn't work. So that's why I just locked in profits at the 5. I was happy taking a little bit less profit there. So I took 8 off at the 5. And then I was like, I'll let my other one go to my actual TP. But then I was like, we might as well like trail it, just like, because yeah, if it's going to reject, come back down. And obviously, it looks like it might still go and hit TP, but we're chilling. I mean, we made what, like 90? That doesn't sound right. 90 to 140? That cannot be right. Oh, this one says 180, 90. Oh, it split it up into a bunch of different ones, I think. So it's like 180 plus 90 plus 140, maybe? I don't know. But we went from like 350 to 738 on my P&L. So we made like $400, I think. So we'll take it. That's still like a 2R. LMFAO turning you into a little monster. Facts. You could say that. You missed my super clean trade here. This one was just butter off the 15 here. Just went straight up. 35 point TP right at the EMAs. I did scale in a little late. I think I like it because it just kind of had a little slippage. So I didn't make quite as much as I could have on this trade with like the second round of contracts, but still made back all my losses plus extra. And this one was just like, I know you don't like the break evens, but like because I was already in profit and like we almost hit TP here, I should have taken like profit like as it was dropping here just to lock in like $300 or whatever, but I just took it a little bit above for like 50 bucks or 100. Which actually would have saved me losing this trade, I think. So I don't feel too bad. But it looks like this one would have hit TP eventually. But yeah, once again, we rejected off the 5, so I don't feel too bad taking like profit there just to kind of make sure we get it there. Plus, I can only make like $200 more in the day anyways before I hit my limit. So again, don't feel too bad. I'm chilling. Just had the same trade and made 250 LOL. Nice, let's go. Yeah, I missed that talking to Brandon. Well, that's good you're talking to Brandon. He has been MIA, so I'm glad he's not like super MIA, like dead or anything. Making too much money, told you. Oh, really? Because yeah, like, I was kind of like, maybe he's like losing some money or accounts, but he's just making too much. Also not surprised though. I mean, yeah, if you just catch like that first trade or two in the day, lock in some wins. Oh, you're talking about me. This week has been killer. The dashboard's not fully updated, but before today, I was up $1,700 on this week. So with this win, $800, and that's just this account. $800 today minus commissions. That's about like $2,500 in a week, which would pass an account. The only problem is I was down $1,300 last week because of like Friday, Thursday, and Friday. So today, this week was really good, but we haven't passed the account yet. We still need like $900 to pass, which we should be able to make Monday and Tuesday. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Is Funded Futures Network good? I don't know. I've never traded with them, so I couldn't tell you. Is your operation simulated or simulation? No, this is well, it is technically it's a sim account, but it's through a prop firm called Funny Ticks. And I'm just on like one of the evals. And once you pass the evaluation, you'll get funded with real money, and then you can start taking payouts if you've never heard of prop firms. Would you go bullish or bearish here? Probably bullish still, unless we reject these highs and go for the lows again. But the fact that we've been holding up the 15 EMA, I imagine we're still pretty bullish. And especially now that we're above the 5 minute. That being said though, the 5 minute, we've been like randomly rejecting off of it, but also like we've kind of just been like going up and down through it. So I don't know if I really trust the 5 minute for any trades today. I just bought an account because they give a free account and 50% off, and I can't log on the trading app. So nothing in pocket on these trades. Not technically, but we are making progress to getting funded, and then we can start like making money. So it's technically nothing in my pocket, but I'm getting close to a funded account, which it's progress, basically. Rejection off the 5 makes sense. The 15 considers the 5 for that reason. Okay, okay. Does make sense. Kind of a little bull flag here. We are a little far from the EMA there, but I guess it's still valid. Typically, I do like it to kind of give it a little kiss before it makes the move. But it still works. And so the scale is above the EMA. Exactly. No, yeah, I definitely could have waited on this one. But like I said, making a couple extra, like 100 more, could have been nice, but it's not the biggest deal. It's because I'm locked in on this EMA strat. And also the account that I was trading the flags on. I should take them for just for like the content. Like I took this trade here. But yeah, that's the account that like I don't technically need to trade. But like I could still take them obviously for content and just practice or whatever. Get the reps in. That's true. MSM the data. That is true. That is true. Maybe my first 560 TP. Yeah, he's been trying to target 560 like ever since over here somewhere. We were kind of getting above the 5 minute. And we kind of had this flag actually kind of forming here. And he was trying to, I think on this pullback, he's trying to target 560. So we're almost at his original TP. So that'll be very good for Phantom. Sounds versus ICT. I don't even know. But somehow, I mean, holding through all this is definitely, it's a bit of drawdown. He did get a second entry. He kind of dollar cost average somewhere down here, I think. So his average entry is, I think, 510 is what he said. That's true. Missing the EMA data, missing the initial. Off the open. Yeah. I do want to clarify though, like today, because you said like 9:34, kind of like 3-4 minutes after the open. But today that wouldn't have worked, right? Because at first you said like you 100% could have caught the long. But I just want to clarify, because if today's a day where you say, oh, you should have taken the long off the first minute open, like at 9:30 exactly, because that's what this candle is. But if you wait for 9:34, you're all the way up here. And you kind of missed the trade. So I do want to clarify. Not today. Okay, that's what I thought. But just wanted to double check. But yeah, there was like maybe one or two earlier this week that might be guilty of for sure. Definitely not gonna say I'm not. Can DM real trades. Is that like a question or statement? Looks like we hit 560 though. Or no, we just barely missed. Did we just miss it? It looks like we hit it. Potentially. I don't think so. Because I was kind of watching it. I don't think like this is the only pullback. Oh wait, I'm at the wrong time of the day. I think these were the only two pullbacks, and I think they were still like too far away from the EMA with like the zone that I had drawn out, because I think at the time it would have been like down here somewhere, because you can kind of see on the 1 minute where like the peaks were, but they do kind of like come down a little bit, so it probably was like there, I'm guessing. So if that's what you're referring to, again, like this one, if I did take it before the open, obviously really good trade, but I don't think any of these touched the 5. I might have to go back and watch the recording. But I'm pretty sure I was marking it. I don't think we ever, because even like right here, like I'm pretty sure the first time we touched the 5 zone was back here when I tried this trade. Oh, ES, yeah. It must have been ES. Actually, we might be able to check that. Actually, I don't know the point values, but that could be, this could be right here. Something like that, but yeah, no, I look at like ES for like overall kind of trend bias, just to kind of make sure we're kind of doing the same thing as NQ. And I do have this other chart with the EMAs, but I don't really check this one unless like I'm trying to show the viewers what ES looks like. Because I have a different chart with ES on like a different trading thing. And then it's just like the 1 minute chart with like, yeah. I also assume that they kind of mirror each other, but just the opposite because I look at NQ. But I do like double check to make sure it's kind of mirroring, because if it's not, sometimes I hesitate a little on trades just because if ES and NQ are doing opposite things, we're more likely to like chop and just have indecisiveness in the market. So it's not ideal circumstances, you could say. But yeah, I'm guilty of the same thing. Like I'll glance at it, but I don't check like the 5, the 15, the 1 minute EMAs. I just don't have it like on a chart where I can see it unless I click on it. You would have passed TPT by now on 25K. Yeah, that's actually true. I'm up $1,600 on this account, so would have hit it. Literally the same risk too. Yeah, no, because on that one it's like $1,000. So it's technically like half the risk, but also like, yeah, like I could probably still get away with trading 4 contracts initial pretty easily, if not more, especially if I was a little more aggressive and confident. But yeah, 4 initial with $1,000 drawdown or $1,500 drawdown. Excuse me. That's not bad. Yeah, 1 account. It might be the next account I buy if I buy more. Because I might just stick with this one funny ticks. I might keep my other with like the 5 minute, but like we'll see how that does, or if I can even get that one anywhere. But focus on this one, try and pass it, and then might just stick with this one and kind of build it up like you're saying. But if I do have a reason to buy another account, whether that's for like, maybe if I copy trade or maybe just like having extra accounts. But I think, yeah, just keeping 1 account is probably the strat for now. Just keep this one, build it up, make some payouts and money. Yeah, the 50K on this one's definitely a little unnecessary. Because it's all just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not, it's like kind of like probabilities, but not. Maybe just like ratios. Because the ratio for the 50K is worse. Like the risk to profit target. And technically that only really matters in the evaluation phase. Because once you get past 1,500 in profit, you can start scaling, and it's basically a 50K account. Yeah, everything's worth with bigger accounts. And well, that's why I usually trade the 50. But I'm not used to the 25k being like a good ratio. Because at least with like previous prop firms I've traded, like I'm not sure what funny ticks is. I'm actually gonna check right now because I'm curious. But I remember Apex, the 50k was the sweet spot because it was like 2,500 risk for a $3,000 profit target. Actually, that being said though, I just remembered, funny ticks now, the drawdown is 2,500 and the profit target is also 2,500. So it's actually a 1-to-1. So it's actually the same as TPT and it's cheaper. Yeah. So actually right now, funny ticks 50k account, I think you get it for still around $50 with like the 35% off. Maybe not technically better, but definitely cheaper for the 50k account if you choose like the weekly reward cap, the lower option, which obviously some people might not want. 25 to pass. 1,500 is better, but also you can just size up. And it's like the same ratio, like 1,500 risk for 1,500 profit target. But now funny ticks, it's 2,500 risk, 25 to pass. So it's just like the same 1-to-1 ratio. You just have to like size up a little. You'll just trade more contracts basically. So it's the same ratio. You just trade more contracts. If that makes sense. Which I guess is technically worse on commissions, but besides that, it's basically the same. That is true though. Earlier payout would be better on TPT. Because the funny ticks payouts aren't bad, but I think you do need at least 5 days. And then you need to get past the buffer of 2k. Or the buffer might actually be 2,500 now because of the new drawdown change. Maybe that's why they changed the drawdown. Because they saw the stats and said, even if we give them $500 more of risk, they'll still blow their accounts. But then it's harder for them to get a payout. I don't know. Just a little thought I just had. That's true though. 2 weeks up. Well, because yeah, if I was trading like 4 initial, which maybe I wouldn't do, maybe I would, I don't know. Because once I'm funded, I might take it a little slow at first, like 2 initial, just because I only have $1,500 to lose instead of like 2,000, you know? So I might do like 2 initial, but I still like, because this week I've been trading 4 initial the whole time on this account. So if we just assume that I make half the money, half of, what is it? So 17. I wish the dashboard updated. Right, start 2 scale. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay, it's not fully updated yet, but it was 1,700 plus whatever today's P&L is. Plus 738. So it's like 2,457, 2,457. Divide that by 2. So I would have made like $1,200 this week trading 2 initial. So I wouldn't quite be at like past the original drawdown of 1,500. But obviously I could have made more this week. For sure. But yeah, once you get past the buffer, and like you said, 2 weeks, if I can like get this performance next week, or not next week because of Christmas, but like hypothetically next week, right? Or even more. You know, that's almost $2,500 in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, there's the intraday drawdown. I do gotta remember that. That's the one thing I will say that Funny Ticks has on TPT. It's cheaper accounts, but also end of day drawdown. Even when you're funded. But it shouldn't be too much of a big deal as long as like I'm winning. Yeah, you can just scale it down. The drawdown isn't a big deal. Exactly. Because yeah, the drawdown would not be the most ideal for this strategy, even though it was built around take profit trader accounts, just because the intraday, it just makes it like slightly more complicated. Because yeah, if you're up like $300 and then you still take the loss, it ends up being like a $500 loss instead of a, you know, $200 loss with like just my 4 initial example. But obviously, as long as I'm still winning, that's not the end of the world. But it does add it does add some extra drawdown that I need to just be aware of. So yeah, build the buffer for the small size. What indicator do you use? This is actually a custom indicator I made. I just use ChatGPT though, so you could probably do the same thing. This is the 5-minute 9 EMA as well as the 15. And then this is the 1-minute 9 EMA, so I can see all three on the same chart. And then these are just boxes I drew. They're not indicators. I just drew boxes. Yeah, build the buffer, take the leap. Or don't. I do because I'm impatient. Fair enough. Don't let it in profit go negative or break even. Okay, so you're saying, so like, if I'm in like some good profits, I should scale, or not scale, trail. That's the right word. Assume a $300 to $400 loss initially from the drawdown being there. That's actually fair. That's kind of how I traded Apex actually, which is probably why like I did all right with Apex, because it's $2,500 of total drawdown. But I basically just assumed that I had 2,000 because I kind of assumed I might lose like 500 based on like the intraday drawdown, because I would take like, you know, I'd be up like 400, $500 and I sometimes would take a break even trade. But once you take one break even trade like that, now the drawdown doesn't really, it's not really affected unless you hit peak drawdown again. Right, so you would basically just like assume you only have 1,000 or 1,100 to risk and kind of just accept like the $400 of intraday drawdown being taken away from some losses. But again, you take, it only affects like like a couple trades though. And as long as you can like not take too many losses in a row, it's not that big of a deal. Because the goal is to just stay at the max drawdown, obviously. If you're always making profit, you always have 1,500 to lose. I'm just joking. But yeah, it depends on your size for sure. You need 400 to 500 profits to justify full size. Yeah. And it depends on your risk or size, yeah. Personally, I get to max risk and go full size one trade gets you over the buffer. That definitely could be the move, especially like as I start making like more payouts and like I can throw $90 at a 25K account and obviously still trade smart, but pass within a couple days or a week and then just kind of send it, try and get over the buffer with like a good trade. Could be the move just as far as like expediting the process. Don't do that. Just go small size and build up buffer over a couple of days. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's realistically what I would do. But gambling is also fun. I'm just kidding. Don't gamble, people. I was gonna say kids, but I doubt any of you are kids. But if there's kids watching, don't gamble. I can reliably catch the initial moves to make it. Nice, nice. That's what I like to hear, though. But when ATR went down and I didn't make my adjustments, I would end up losing constantly. Oh. Yeah, that would be hard. ATR down, you just can't get like full moves. Right, you get like half moves, and obviously that's why you have like your 75% of ATR rule for like the TP. But in general, yeah, like low ATR just kind of lacks momentum in general. So hopefully that doesn't happen for a little while. But also it sounds like you've kind of adjusted to that, so we should be able to manage that still. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was getting full moves, but the ATR was down to 1 minute RSI TP would hit, and I would be up 600-700. I'm like, what the freak? Right, and you're trying to make like 1,000. Order filled 560. Oh, he got it. He got 560. Is he in the future or something? Because it hasn't hit 560 on my screen yet. Actually, no, unless we're talking about back here. It did hit 560 back here, which maybe he's a little delayed. Just kidding. But it looks like it's going to hit 560 again. Okay, yeah, you probably got filled back there, but you're just letting us know now. Right, 75% ATR solves the TP issue. Momo cancel helps avoid paying for chop, and our side chop strat lets you take advantage of chop. Yeah, I still need to practice that one. Like, it almost seems like I don't really need it as long as I don't like, I don't know, make too many mistakes. It could come in handy though, so I definitely might practice on sim or just like with like 1 micro if we're like really chopping. We also just haven't chopped a lot in the past because like we have, but like we've still gotten like good moves off the EMAs for TP, and like I prefer those moves personally just because of like the scaling and just like quicker TPs. I don't know, I should like still be able to use it if I need to. But yeah, like you said, like you don't need it. It just is like a good option. And like it does help, yeah, kind of make you aware of the chop setups, which is true. I do have the RSI on my charts, as you can see. So I am looking at it, which actually did kind of help validate both these trades a little bit because we were kind of at the bottom of the 1 minute RSI. So that's why I was like, I'm taking the first entry on this bad boy. 15 minute, beautiful. This one as well was kind of low, so I was like, there's a good chance we're going to get somewhat of a pullback. Which we did. We just missed TP by like a couple points, I think. Should have trailed tighter or just like something, I guess. But we got this one, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, now we're... This is the 12 or 11 o'clock momentum right here. It's like not quite choppy, but like it's just the candles are so little. The ATR is falling off a cliff. We're not below a 10 yet, but we're basically below a 10. Yeah, this not going to trade too well. Allows you to take advantage of it and extend your trading days. True. Which isn't necessarily my goal, right? My goal is kind of to trade as little as possible to be less exposed to the market. But again, it's a good option, and that's why I should still kind of learn how to use it so it can be a good tool. So one was like 9 to 11 chop, 11 to 1 p.m., then Momo picks back up. Right, so if I wanted to trade like kind of around now to like 1 p.m., then be a nice tool to have, which actually, like, if I were to like keep streaming and if I want to extend my streams, because like I said, I like limiting my, actually speaking of streaming, I think some viewers want to see.
Order filled. Order canceled.
They want to see this up and to the right. Maybe not. We'll see how that goes in a little bit. That might help to get the clicks. But no, yeah, like extending the stream could be something I'm like interested in, especially as we grow. Just because like I don't mind streaming a little bit longer, but right now like it's not. It just doesn't make the most sense because I don't have a ton of viewers, but also there's other things I could be doing or working on. And obviously trading less is sometimes better. But if I were to like extend the stream, trade a little bit more, that would be a good option, is to be able to kind of implement the RSI chop strat after 11 p.m. or 11:30 and then continue streaming longer using that for like the stream mostly, but then also like maybe make some money as well. I was doing one time a day, make my 1K and walk away, but I was like, I'm leaving money on the table. ATR went down, so my profits were unrealistic. Gotcha. Did well test on 560 again. Yeah, a little wake up there. Came right back down. When I tried to extend my trading days, I was losing the money I made from the open, then making it back in the afternoon. Okay. And see, that would be like kind of my initial worry, is like by extending my trading days is like giving back the money I made earlier, which I definitely don't want to do. And that's where maybe I'd have like a second account that like I trade in the afternoon, kind of separate the statistics a little bit, because then I can, which maybe it just isn't the right mindset, I don't know, but in my mind it makes sense, because then I can just like kick butt with one account, make money, and then like if I happen to make some money on the other, like the chop strat, great, but it's not like the main focus or concern, and I don't risk the profits on the main account, and I can still trade for content. But yeah, realistically, like I have a different mindset than you, and I'm basically like, you know, if I'm done by 9 a.m. or like, well, 9 a.m. my time, 11 a.m. Eastern, or even like 10, I'm fine with that. Like I don't usually get the itch to trade if I have a decent P&L. So swipe out candle, pause, and reverse for real. But since I wasn't avoiding chop well enough and my profits lessened because ATR went down, my statistics were off. Now I was just paying for chop, right? Just paying your dues. But now that you've adjusted for that, it can be a pretty useful tool. Alright, I might play a game or two Battlefield while we keep chat for a little bit. Might keep an eye out for some bull flags if we can pick up the momentum a little bit, but right now we're kind of just slow grinding up, which is what this trade is for the background. So hypothetically, this gets us some more views, some more followers, but disclaimer, not a real trade. Well, it is a technically real trade, but it's not on a real account. Just for fun. It butters now, but yeah, it just took some time to figure out and develop, which most good things do. It was weird seeing butter moose, but making less doing the exact same thing. Oh, yeah, yeah. I wonder if I'd still get like more views and followers if this trade was like negative 10,000. I guess we might find out low key. Sim, yeah, this is Sim. This is just for fun. We already made our money. You can see in the top left, my P&L on this funny ticks account, 814. So this is just a practice trade. So my RR was extremely off because I didn't lower my risk either. Oh, right. So 1 win paying for 3-5 losses was only paying for 1 to 2. Right, which is definitely not ideal. Right, it's like that's like a half decrease.